Hi there, I'm Andrew, yours ThatGamerAjax, and welcome back to Tales from the Tabletop. Now, this time, we're going to be sharing a story that involves a little bit of embarrassment and a lot of learning moments. So, as a game master, you have to remember that it is perfectly okay to make mistakes. Sometimes you can make small ones, sometimes you can make big ones. As long as you laugh it off and you and your group have fun, that's really all that matters in the end. Now, this was a particularly embarrassing moment for me, and let's just go ahead and dive right on into it, shall we? So to kind of set the stage, this was probably about a year ago. I'd been running my group's Veil of the Void campaign for probably the better part of around a year now, and I was really wanting to start getting into creating my own enemy, starting to work on home brewing as it were. We didn't have the current guides that we have out now for the game when it comes to making adversaries, so I kind of had to wing it. I had just made a Kraken. I was so excited to use this thing against the group. I wanted to see how this typical, fantasy mythology kind of based creature was going to hold up in a sci-fi setting, and I was very, very excited for the group to run into this. Now, the group had gotten to this oceanic planet that we call Hyperion. They were there to meet a major contact to help them along with the main story quest that they were given. They're trying to assemble these artifacts of the gods amongst the Veil of the Void universe, and in order to purify this artifact they had recently acquired that was corrupted, they needed to seek out this kind of priest. Now, he needed a very special kind of material that only could be found in the darkest, deepest depths of a trench at the bottom of the ocean on this planet. Now, something that I need to note is that when it comes to Hyperion, there are floating cities and these underwater colonies. They were currently underwater as it was, and the group was very excited to see what an underwater combat situation might look like. So they made their way out to the edge of this colony. They acquainted themselves with the submarine that was going to be their vessel that would allow them to get to this trench, and then they started to suit up, made their way out. I was getting very excited at this point. Everybody seemed like they were really enjoying it. I was really feeling myself as a game master, and I, copy over some of my notes with the submarine stats. That way they have those ready to go whenever they need them, and we're going to get into vehicle combat. However, a couple of minutes later, after the group, kind of familiarizes themselves with how this thing is going to be working in terms of the game rules, I hear this little bit of a chuckle from one of my players. Kind of curious as to what's going on. I simply ask them, and well, my player says, "Hey, Andrew, did you see what you sent us exactly?" And a little bit of a panic, I look over the notes, and I was like, "Oh, I don't see anything," and there it is. I had written that the Kraken was going to be in hiding and that they needed to hit a certain difficulty check in order to even see that this thing was there, and there it was, plain as day, saying that there's a Kraken hidden. I was beyond embarrassed, and at that point, the group could literally do nothing but laugh. And I was laughing along with them because it is such a small, silly mistake, and it essentially ruined the encounter that I had planned. After, we managed to get ourselves under control, we let combat ensue, and they absolutely trounced this thing. It was nowhere near strong enough, and I hadn't really kind of taken into account how much stronger Veil heroes are than their Dungeons & Dragons counterparts, but that's a story for another day. So while I ruined that encounter for myself, normally I'm blaming my players for how absurdly overpowered they are, but that's just kind of how the game works. But in the end, it was still a lot of fun. So just remember, if you're a game master out there, you can make simple mistakes, and the thing is for the most part, nobody's even going to know that it happens. Unless you directly send them your notes, that is. So that is going to conclude this very brief tale from the tabletop. I hope that it kind of shows you that you can make mistakes all the time, and that, sometimes all you gotta do is laugh at yourself in the end. So what are some minor or slightly embarrassing mistakes that you've made as a game master? I'm sure that we all have plenty of stories to tell, so please comment below. If you like the video, please give that a thumbs up, and if you like what you've seen and you wanna see more, maybe consider subscribing. But until next time, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.